viewers to our lesson, and our topic today is crop pests and diseases, and I want us to define two terms, that is a crop pest and a crop disease. We will start from a crop pest, and a crop pest is just a living organism that destroys the crop either directly by causing physical injury to the crop or indirectly by introducing pathogens that causes diseases to the crops. Now, when I talk about pathogens, I mean we have things like we have fungal, we have viruses. Yes, we have fungi or fungal diseases, pathogens, we have viruses, and we have bacterial. So we say a crop pest may attack the crop by indirectly by introducing pathogens to the crops. We have example of a crop pest and we have insects. Examples of insects also we can name them. We have the locust and we have the moth, and then we have example 2 being the rodents, and under rodents we can say we have squirrels and we have rats, and then also we have nematode and another crop pest. We have mites. We have large animals. Large animals are like the elephants, the buffaloes, and then we have also a domestic animal, that is, if they are not well, if they are not taken care, they become a pest, that is, they will attack the crop directly by causing physical injury or physical damage. So, an example of this domestic animal, we have the chicken, we have the goats, we have the sheep, we have the cow. Those are a few examples of the large animals. So I've said we have example of crop pests, and I've said we have the insects, we have the rodents, we have the nematodes, we have the mites, we have the large animals, and we have the domestic animal. Now I want us to define the term a disease, and a disease is just the deviation of a good health. Deviation of a good health. So let's look at the harmful effects of pests. Now, pests are harmful to a crop because, number one, they deprive the plant its food, in that they suck the plant sap. They suck the sap or the fluid, the plant fluids, and by doing so, you will have what you call retarded growth. We have retarded growth. Number 2, we say they destroy the leaves, and if this crop pest destroys the leaves, they will reduce what you call a photosynthetic area. We know that plants make their own food from the leaves. So if this pest destroys the leaves, then it means they will have reduced the photosynthetic area, resulting to low yield or low production of those crops. Assuming they feed on the bean leaves, then it means we'll have less beans. And then we also have some pests like the cutworms. They destroy the stem. And if they destroy the stem and these ones, nematode, if they destroy the roots, then it means it will cause what we call wilting, that is drying and death in plants. Then we have some pests by causing, or they say they are vectors because they attack the crops indirectly by introducing pathogens. So we say some crop pests transmit crop diseases because they are vectors. And then we say pest reduces the marketability of crops by lowering the quality. Assuming you have a bag of maize and those maize have been attacked by weevils. We know weevils, they make holes on the the maize. So if they're going to make holes on those maize, it means they will reduce the quality, hence reducing the marketability. So those are a few harmful effects of pests to our crops. And pests are always harmful to our crops. Now, I want us to classify pests. And pests are classified according to the following. That is that they are classified into 7 steps. They classify a pest by using their mode of feeding. Let's say we can have a pest that is an insect. Now, insects, we have insects as a pest. So this pest, that is the insect, we can classify these insects according to their mode of feeding. That is, it is determined by the nature of their mouth parts. We have those insects which have what we call biting and chewing mouth parts. Biting and chewing mouth parts. And then we say they have piercing and sucking mouth parts. Those with piercing and sucking, they suck the sap. And then those with biting and chewing, they feed on the leaves, parts of the plant. So we say you can classify insects or a pest according to, number 1, their mode of feeding. And under their mode of feeding, we say it is determined by the nature of their mouth parts, where I've said we have those pests which have biting and chewing mouth parts, and we have those with piercing and sucking mouth parts. Number 2, we can still classify these pests into what you call crop they attack. A crop they attack. In that, pests, we say they are crop specific. That is, they attack a certain family of crops. We have pests that attack a family of cereals. And we have those pests which attack the family of legumes, others a family of tea plants, others a family of coffee. So, if we say they are crop specific, it means you'll never find a pest attacking coffee plant will attack a cereal plant. So we say it is a crop specific, meaning they attack specific family or specific types of crops. That is number 2 way of classifying a pest. Also, we can classify a pest according to the stage of development of the pest. And then also we say stage of growth of the crop they attack, and also according to the scientific classification and the level of their damage. And also we say we can classify a pest according to the places or the habitat they live. For example, we can have a pest which attack crops on the field. We'll name it as a field pest. Another one, a pest which attack a crops while stored in a store. We call it a storage pest. That is all for today.